The guy said, expect a
We have a call.
Oh, actually,
Because we have Ashley.
Oh, because we have Ashley.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Ashley, if you don't mind just testing your speaker, if you can hear us.
You're on mute, Ashley.
Hearing it now, I couldn't hear you before.
Yeah, we can't hear you, so let's turn up our end.
Hello?
Speak.
He's on mute.
Ashley, come off of mute.
Speak.
your check.
I need his signature, and I also need your signature on that resolution from, I think, last month. We just went into closed session, but I just need his signature. Oh, Jamie. Why don't you sit next to Mr. Fell? That's where we're.
All right.
in the public.
Why not?
To see you today.
I didn't expect to see you today.
Here, we.
Stalwart.
That's it. So, where's your boots?
Oh, I'm going fancy tonight.
No, I'm talking about, come, Saturday night, you know.
Ben and I'll be out with the shovel.
Snowboard, bro.
I got the world's biggest.
Snowboard, you should see it. Great.
Ashley, come off mute and try talking
I
again.
cut my entire block down my side, up the other side, back around.
Yeah, those are the public.
Okay, we can kind of hear you. Let me change our speaker. Try speaking now.
What is it?
Only 5 years into Zoom. Ashley, take yourself off of mute. Ashley, take yourself off of mute. He keeps coming in and out. I don't know what he's doing.
Maybe it's not.
Can you send him a chat?
Maybe it's kind of some.
I can hear you. I'm having issue with my audio. I'm trying to change my headphones.
No, I would say don't touch anything. You're okay now.
Hear you.
Okay.
I think that's the better.
Why don't you begin?
Okay. Good evening. Notice of time, date, location, and agenda of this meeting, to the extent known, was provided at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of the meeting pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Act. Notice of all meetings in 2026 was provided as required on publications on December 10th, 2025. May I ask you all to rise? Salute.
Just stand. Do your best.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Don't read
You're a
the.
good voice. Prepared, always prepared, right?
That's right.
Yes, come on.
The purpose of the Millburn Special Improvement District is to promote, grow, and support local businesses, property owners, residents, and visitors, and to encourage the economic, cultural, and social vitality of the township through increased marketing and visibility, and improved and renewed infrastructure, and local business development and engagement. Mr. Grillo, may you please have the roll call vote? A roll call.
Yes, Madam Chair. Just for tonight, until we have more members appointed, just for the record, a quorum will consist of 3 voting members. We only have 5 voting seats at this point. So Jackie Benjamin Lieberberger,
Here.
Christina Straneski,
Here,
Ashley Schultz. I know he's there.
Ashley,
He's on mute again.
please unmute.
I'm
Speak.
here. I'm going in and out. I'm having issues, but I'm trying here.
Thank you, Ashley.
Ben Stoller,
Present.
Alex Zoltzman, Richard Wasserman.
Here.
You have a quorum. And just for the record, this is also a temporary location. We were double booked because of the Historic Preservation Commission. So next month, we should be back to our normal location. Your report.
Well, I'd like to make an amendment to the schedule for the meetings for 2026. For our September meeting, I'd like to request a change from the September 24th date that was voted on at our last meeting to September 17th.
Could we have do we want to have any discussion about that? I know we looked at that earlier. It doesn't fall, it falls in between the 2 Jewish holidays.
Oh, it's over the issue, yeah.
So,
17th is what day?
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
It's just the preceding Thursday.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is a motion to move 9/24 to 9/17, under the assumption that we can do so with the use of the room. I have to check that. Any discussion before a motion?
So I think procedurally, we should have discussion tonight and then put it on as a reso on the agenda. This way we're not doing it as a late add. There's no need to in this case. It's not like it's an emergency.
Okay.
So we would just pass the new schedule the same way we passed the old schedule at the next meeting and then notice it anytime.
Okay.
But other than that, you can have whatever discussion about it you want now. There's no discussion. We can move on.
Okay. Mr. Grillo, reorganization of the board.
So this is our first meeting of the year. So we have a couple of the usual paperwork, which is listed, it's all in front of you. So the first is the administration of the oaths. So Mr. Slattery would read that to the 4 present members. So Richard, Jackie, Ben, and Christina. There's a copy in front of you. Actually, I didn't give Christina her copy.
You know, I was at Solomon's inauguration in Jersey City, and the clerk there did have it memorized.
And by the end of the event, I had maybe 3/4. Should I give that a go? It was kind of impressive, but I don't think so.
Did you know who grew up in town?
Yes, that he went to Newark Academy, but he's
Yeah,
Newark,
who was
right?
it?
James Solomon, the new mayor of Jersey City.
Can we stand for this?
Yeah, so,
Is it right
you
here?
can take it together if you like, but you should stand, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. All right, you too? Everybody has one?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll share.
What's that? No, now I live in Jersey City.
You should know
The
that
mother
there's-
was here.
There's copies there for you, for both of you.
Yeah.
No, I gave
She-
them.
she-
Oh, then you'll, so just,
We'll
you'll
make it
sign
work.
the copy.
Yes,
We'll make it work.
yes, okay.
I think there's actually need to unmute too.
Does he have to unmute?
He should, yes.
Yeah.
All right, Ashley, unmute, please.
Do our best to hear you.
Stand and raise your right hand also.
Go ahead.
Okay. You're just gonna repeat after me. I state your name.
I,
Good.
Jackie Benjamin Lee,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state under the authority of the people.
and in this state under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all of the duties of the office
perform all of the duties of the office
of the Millburn-Short Hills Business Organization, Inc. Board of Trustees,
of the Millburn-Short Hills Business Organization, Inc. Board of Trustees,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Oh, my God.
All right, so if everyone could please fill out your name, sign it, and provide it to Tom, who will then provide it to me for the record. I will have to give Ashley his copy first. While you guys are doing that, you also have copies. It does not require signature, I'm sorry, one does, the conflict of interest form.
Let me see if I look.
So if you could take that conflict of interest form home with you and keep it in your files, but just sign the last page, which states that you received it, and then give that back,
Just the last page?
just the last page. And obviously, Mr. Slattery is always available in the event that there's a potential for a conflict. Oh, Slattery. Oath is to Tom. And your conflict of interest go to maintenance. That's Tom.
I'll do the rest.
He does it.
Yeah, let me just steal that.
Here.
Give me another pen.
I got it.
Yeah, he's all right.
Shouldn't be.
And what else?
And you rip that off and hand it to you. Just a second. Reorg is always the slowest. Little by the book. Then finally, you guys do have a board member responsibilities document. You don't have to sign that. That's just for you to keep. It talks about your responsibilities as a board member, attendance, things like that, but we hand that out every year as well. So now this, Tom, it's a good question. We currently do not have a treasurer because Stephen is no longer on the board. We do have 3 vacant seats. Do we need to appoint a treasurer tonight? Or can we wait until we have a fully constituted board? Because there may be someone who wants to be the treasurer. It's not here.
Right, so, what I would suggest is, if you want to do that, you just need to make sure that there are sufficient people in place that you can execute any of the business you need to execute in the next month. And if you are, then it would be fine to hold that for one meeting in order to provide the whole board the opportunity.
So our existing chair and secretary are both signers on the bank account, as am I. So we have the signatories to proceed with business.
Yeah, then I would suggest that as long as it's not going to impede the organization's business for the next month, then that's a reasonable thing to do.
Okay. So then the first item would be to nominate and elect a board chair. Is there any nomination?
I nominate my good friend Jackie Benjamin to be chair. I think she's done an outstanding job. I think the statistics speak for themselves. I think we've made a lot of headway in terms of doing really great work for the township. I think we have been a consistent hand in terms of promoting business and engaging our citizens. And I think the consistency and good work will continue under her leadership.
Do we have any other nominations for consideration as chair? Hearing none, is there a motion and a second to nominate Jackie Lieberberg, to vote in Jackie Lieberberg as chair?
I'd like to make a motion.
Is there a second?
Ashley?
I'll second.
Jackie Lieberberg,
Yes.
Ashley Schultz,
Yes.
Ben Stoller,
Yes.
and Richard Wasserman.
Yes.
Okay, now we need a nomination for secretary. The current secretary is Richard Wasserman. Do we have a nomination for Richard?
I second it.
Do we have any other nominations? Anyone else dying to become secretary? All right, so we just need a motion to appoint Richard Wasserman as secretary.
Motion.
Second,
Second.
Jackie Lieberberg,
Yes.
Ashley Schultz,
Yes.
Ben Stoller, and Richard Wasserman.
Yes.
Congratulations. We're going to hold on the treasurer appointment. So that then leads us to the last bit of rework. You all have attachment 2 in your packets. These are the current Main Street Committee assignments. So we have economic vitality, organization, promotions, and design. And then we're going to add another at some point during the year called technology, because as we go through the rebrand and the eventual website renovation, I think it's important that we have a technology subcommittee as well. I will be staffing the economic vitality in the organization, and Corinne, as well as technology. Corinne will be handling promotions and design. So that's everything to do with events and marketing. We had reached out towards the end of last year to our existing advisory committee members, as well as other volunteers, to see if they were interested. At this point, we have 5 volunteers for economic vitality. We have 2 for organization, 3 for promotions, and 3 for design, and then we're going to build out technology later in the year. I can read the names if you'd like. Ruchi Barshwad, who is the owner of By Design Kitchen and Bath, Erica Russo from M&T Bank, Josh Sarnell, who's a local resident, Jane Shan, local resident, and Maurice Barakat, our local residents. For organization, Erica Russo, Jane Shan. Promotions, Kate By, who is the owner of Beyond Young Academy, Josh Sarnell, and then Eliza Barron, who is a co-owner or so of Home Instead. And then design is Ruchi, Erica, and Eliza again. So we hope to continue to expand these and add people. This is the first time we're organizing it this way. So I'd just like a motion in a second to adopt this assignment list as it stands, and then we'll just continue to add as we go.
Is there any, for these committee appointments, is there any other consideration? I mean, anybody, in other words, any of our local citizens can join and be appointed?
Mm-hmm. And this is just a 1-year appointment. It's no different than what we used to do for the advisory committee. This just brings us in compliance with our Main Street obligations. They'll be performing essentially all the same functions, just we're enumerating it differently.
So we need a motion for that. So is that what we need?
You want to adopt it formally?
I don't know if you need to.
You don't need
I
to.
think it's, for me, whenever there's a question, I figure you may as well do it that via motion, right, or a resolution.
You want to make a motion to adopt it? And then we'll just continue to grow as we go through the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Do that. To adopt these committees as Mr. Grillo stated.
A second,
Second,
Jack Lieberberg,
yes.
Ashley Schultz,
Yes.
Ben Stoller,
Sure.
and Rich Wasserman.
Yes.
And I just want to thank these folks. They're all stepping up to the plate to help volunteer, so thank you for that.
There was lots of opportunity to join us.
Yes, and as I get interest from people, I'll continue to bring them to you guys, and we can do it on a monthly basis. Just appoint them to these boards.
Can we advertise? Is there any advertisement?
We have been.
Even maybe in your,
We've been going pretty crazy with it.
yeah, but, okay, yeah, good. Lots of opportunity. Okay.
So that's it for the reorg. We just have now the approval of the minutes from the December meeting.
May I have a motion to approve the December 18th, 2025 public session minutes attachment 3 in your packet?
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
May I have a roll call?
Jackie Lieberberg,
Yes.
Ashley Schultz,
Yes.
Ben Stoller, and Richard Wasserman.
Yes.
Now we have the closed session as well.
Motion.
All right, motion is Ben Stoller, second,
Second.
Jackie Lieberberg,
Yes.
Ashley Schultz,
Yes.
Ben Stoller,
Yes.
Richard Wasserman.
Yes.
All right, now we can finally get to business. And now that we finish the reorg. All right, thank you all. It's my report.
Benita, is she coming or you're gonna?
No, actually, sorry, we skipped that, right? The guest presentation tonight was supposed to be from Benita Ganwal, who is with the Millburn Environmental Commission. She was gonna come tonight to advocate for the township to adopt an ordinance related to what they call skip the stuff. And this is to help restaurants reduce the amount of forks and napkins and other things that they put in takeaway bags. Yesterday, she said, I don't need to come because the governor passed a law. One of his last things to do. But I do think it's important that we discuss it because it is going to affect some of the businesses in town. So the skip the stuff law, and I'm reading from an article today that I found, states that wherein food service establishments that will only provide single-use utensils and condiment packets when a customer requests them. So that's a plastic fork or spoon. The law also stipulates that full-service restaurants that can seat 10 or more patrons provide reusable utensils for dining customers. And there's going to be a 6-month education campaign to inform consumers about the financial and environmental impact of reducing disposable utensils and condiment packets. The changes take effect on August 1st. There are exemptions for school cafeterias, healthcare, and correctional facilities. So we will work with the Environmental Commission to make sure that our food service establishments are aware of this new law and that they're in compliance. So Benita got what she wanted. She didn't have to come to our meeting and got her bill passed. So now we'll go on to the treasurer's report. This is our first treasurer's report, Stephen, in 4+ years, but I'll do my best. So you guys have your attachment, I believe attachment 5 and 6. So we ended the year with slightly over $29,000 in our bank account. Overall, we hit all of our budget lines, but I will note that we were over budget on general operations and membership events and dues and streetscaping. It didn't affect our overall revenue because we made almost $50,000 in sponsorships. And then the 2026 budget that was passed by the Township Committee reflected increases to those budget lines. So we should be fine. There's also a $5,000 expense that you're going to see at the very, very end of the receipts there. That was for the television screen rental for the World Cup that we're televising the final in Taylor Park, which I'll talk about in a little bit. That was paid in 2025, but it's going to be reimbursed to us in 2026 as part of the Township Committee's obligation that we've authorized. In terms of sponsorship, so we closed 2025 with $49,391 in committed sponsorships. That's from 36 unique sponsors. We collected everything but $250. So 99.5% collection rate, which is pretty good. It's better than the IRS, I think. And so the average sponsorship was $945. Our lead donors, and I'm going to thank them. I'm going to do my Ben impression. The Veterinary Emergency Group, $8,000, brand new business on Morris Turnpike. Gen Dental, $4,000. Arthur Grafe, DDS, $3,500. And then Save a Tree, Concierge Pediatric, By Design Kitchen and Bath, and Atlantic Federal Credit Union, all at $2,500 apiece. We also generated $66,250 in in-kind donations. That includes $60,000 worth of free radio commercials on multiple iHeart radio stations, as we talked about. So that was for Halloween as well as the winter villages. And then I broke it down. I was curious to see where the sponsorship was domiciled. 34% of all cash revenue was from the downtown, 35% from the outer districts, and 31% was from businesses either in Millburn but outside the bid or from other towns like Springfield. So almost exactly equal, about a third. And then we are hosting a sponsor thank you dinner on Monday, February 9th. All members are welcome to attend and discuss the specifics after the meeting, but you all should have received it. I just want to thank those folks for all the support they. So overall, it was our best financial year ever in terms of revenue, and where we came in at the end of the year with a small surplus.
Well, I'd like to say that's tremendous. I mean, this extra money that comes in can only strengthen all the work that we do. It's tremendous. Steve, do you think that we should have a goal in terms, I mean, because we've been building year to year in terms of building the sponsorships, and it's been so helpful to us. Do you think we should like set a financial goal of, what we should try to accomplish?
We have already. It's actually in the budget that is by the TC. So I put a sponsorship line. I think this year the top of my head is 40,000. And then we use that to build out the rest of the budget. So I think 40, I was a little conservative this year because we've talked about some of the concerns over just general economics. I didn't think it would be wise to say, well, we did 50,000 in 25. Let's assume we're going to do 50 in 26, because obviously that would then obligate us to do certain services that we don't have money for. So I think we did 40,000 again. And I think we're going to hit that number. I really do. And good news also, thanks to the members of the TC that are here, on their meeting Tuesday night, they approved the bill list, which included the 50% of my salary, which is required by ordinance. And then we had a couple reimbursements that were due to us from 2025. So we deposited a check for about $70,000 today. So we're going to be in a great position now going into the first quarter, because we don't see our tax assessment money typically until April or so. But we're in a very good financial position right now as an organization. Yeah, so that's my report on the treasurer's report. I hope, Stephen, I hope I did it. They're not dead. I don't know.
Something I don't know.
It's a full goal.
These are just some short. Okay.
Do you have RSVP for the sponsor dinner so far? Do you know how many people are attending?
Yes, we have 10 confirmed businesses,
Okay.
and our goal is 15. So we're doing well.
Great. Mr. Stoller.
Great, thank you. So it's going my third year here, so I learned a ton. It's been great. Listen, there's no bigger testament than people putting their money where their mouth is, and by the sponsorship and the monies that have come in, I would make an analogy to get on football, because we big boosters, we put a lot of money in it. We finally got a championship.
Is something
But people are putting their money where their mouth is. They're all paying. it's fantastic. I don't see anything on Strager. It's fantastic. Everyone's happy. Oil's down. Stock market's at an all-time high. People are spending money. I see it every day in Manhattan. Walking right by your office every day. It's crazy. So let's keep up the good work and attack this new year. I mean, I think it's going to be a banner year for everyone. Terms of SID review committee status, no update at this point. Nothing to disclose there. Holiday decor ad hoc committee. I'm going to request, as I said, a request from our new mayor, Mr. Second-Mendy, to put that on as new business to discuss putting together an ad hoc committee. Congratulations to Jamie, who's here sitting as well. Hopefully he can help me get this on new business. Put some attention around it. Everyone gets so hyper vigilant about it come November when it's too late. So now we're in January. Everybody wants it. The Chamber of Commerce, who used to do it, seems to have fallen down in a sense, and they don't have the capital budget to do it. So I'm going to put it out there to the mayor. Hopefully he'll be able to put it as new business. We can discuss it and move that forward. I know there's some fantastic people who want to be on that committee that have been spoken at many township committee meetings and here as well. We've all gotten the input. So I think it's something that can really support what we're doing. Maybe we can put some sponsorship around it as well and put it out there. But having a committee start in January versus in November or October is going to be much better for the community and hopefully give everybody the joy they're looking for holiday lights when it comes around.
This stuff's on sale too now.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
Buying on sale, the Christmas tree place. And that's really it. We had a very good opening reorganization. We're now into our second meeting and just looking great things for the year ahead.
Congratulations to your leaders.
Thank you.
Christina, Business Administrator's report.
No report at this time?
Thank you. Mr. Slattery.
I don't have anything new that's different than what I gave you guys in December. So
Okay.
that-
Okay. Mr. Grillo,
Yes.
Executive Director report. Santa's mailbox.
All right, so got a bunch of topics to cover. As you know, I've been organizing these into the Main Street buckets, so promotion and design, economic vitality and organization. So the first item, we had a very successful Santa's mailbox
Can I
contest.
get a recap of that at the TC meeting? I don't know if you saw the meeting,
did.
but what a fantastic
Result that was.
I'm gonna echo what Ben said. So overall, there were nearly 200 individual receipts submitted. 36 different stores participated, and there was a total receipt value. Can we close that? We're not allowed, right?
We should not. We should not.
What's this?
Especially because
You know
you
what?
know. Okay.
That's okay.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
drum roll total.
So from 200 individual receipts, 36 different businesses, $45,900. So people were spending a lot of money, and it was really terrific. Our next receipt promotion was super successful, so we're gonna do it again. It's gonna be for the World Cup. Working through that June and July, we plan to have soccer ball shaped mailboxes throughout the district. We're hoping to secure 48 gift baskets.
Look on the soccer, like, can you do like a goal or something?
A goal.
Figure out how to get this thing to get stolen or knocked down. You can be on the design committee if you like. Everybody's got an opinion until they get a volunteer.
There's not enough on it.
So we're hoping to have 48 gift baskets from businesses as the prizes. That'll be a reference to the 48 teams participating in the largest World Cup ever. And then we are working through a variety of events. We're going to have a skills day. We're going to have a bunch of restaurant-related viewing parties and food packages. But we're also going to be showing the World Cup final. We're going to have a viewing party at Taylor Park, Sunday, July 19th at 3 p.m. I think we're one of the few towns around that already has a massive LED screen that has been reserved, as I mentioned. So we're thrilled. We'll have tents. We'll have vendors. We'll have plenty going on. So it's going to be a great event. The next item is, or I guess, upcoming events. We have three that you guys should be aware of. The first is Bird Bingo. We are partnering once again with our friends at the Oral Hartshorn Arboretum. They are doing a community engagement initiative called Bird Bingo that uses a printed bingo card featuring businesses and their logos. And so it's going to be a scavenger hunt type of event. And it's meant to draw attention to their Beat Week celebration, which is April 17th to 24th. So this is going to be kicking off February 15th, so two months in advance. We're currently soliciting businesses, and the bingo cards are going to, once you do your bingo by going in and spending at different stores, you then submit it to the Arboretum, and they'll be providing gift baskets from the stores that are participating. So we're helping with the marketing and logistics, but this is being run by the Arboretum. And anybody out there in TV world, you can contact Priya Patel. Her email is Priya M, PRIYAMPATEL or just follow us on social media, etc. We're excited about that. We also have a promotion for the Super Bowl. And so we're going to be promoting via a social media campaign and email campaign all the different Super Bowl promotions that local businesses have. Obviously, this is a big food holiday, so we've been working with pizzerias and other places who are doing specials, and you should get an email at about 5 a.m. tomorrow morning in your inboxes with the first round of that. And if the business wants to share their promo when they're listening, you can email Corinne, CORINNE, at exploremillburnshorthills.org. And I think we have about 20 already, so people should definitely participate. And then the last event that we are participating in is the Millburn Chinese Association's Lunar New Year event. That is also on Super Bowl Sunday, but they're doing it in the morning. And we're going to have a table with our event schedule for the year, which I'm going to show you, which I don't have with us tonight, but with our event schedule, and we're actually going to be translating it into Mandarin so that we can give it away to folks. That's the promotion and design report, the economic vitality report. New businesses, closed businesses. So we have not had any businesses close between last meeting and now. We do have two new businesses that are fully up and running. The Ice Cream House and Craft and Mill Barbershop, both of those are in downtown. Mayor Saccomanni actually attended his first ribbon cutting as mayor for the ice cream shop about 2 weeks ago. Richard and Jackie were there as well. Both of those businesses needed significant assistance to open. Ice Cream House had a ton of issues with the construction office and some permitting. We also filmed a personalized reel for Instagram, and we organized their ribbon cutting for them. Craft and Mill also needed construction assistance. We filmed a reel as well, and then we actually helped them enroll in the NJDA Small Business Improvement Grant Program, which offers reimbursements for costs associated with building improvements and new furniture. So they're going to be getting grant money from the state to cover the costs related to building out that space. And for those of you who do not know, today was the grand opening of the new Bookhouse location in downtown. They moved to the former Sugar Bear. So they are now right across from Buncher's Hardware. The space is much larger, really a much better setup for a bookstore than what they have on Essex Street. So please stop by. And then we do have a new tenant who I've already onboarded for the former Bookhouse. They're called Essential Beauty House. They should be open in March. And then we have 9 other locations that are currently under construction, including a new business at the Heart called Pilates Addiction Short Hills. We have created a new sponsorship level this year. We're calling Friend of Explore Millburn Short Hills, which kind of gives you SID member benefits. So it made sense for a lot of businesses that are very close to the bid, but not actually in it. So the Hearth is not actually within the boundaries of the bid, but it's obviously.
And that's voluntary?
Yeah, it's a voluntary sponsor.
They agreed to do it?
Yep. So they're our first one. We have a second one signing up now, which is really cool. So they're going to get the ability to.
They want the services of the state.
Correct. Yeah. So they're going to be able to table at events. We'll share their social media content.
Keep those statistics.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What is the name of the occupant for the Bookhouse?
Essential Beauty House.
Essential Beauty, and what do they do?
They do permanent makeup.
Oh.
That you
Is that a
permanent member?
tattoo?
Oh, I don't know what tattoo, it's like eyeliner, permanent eyeliner or whatever,
Yeah.
like shape your eyebrows.
I don't know the science behind it, but,
Can I give you a permanent tattoo?
And when do they plan to open?
March. And then for the board members, and really anybody in the public, we have our next ribbon cutting, which is going to be on Wednesday, February 25th at 4 p.m. That is going to be Shearer Dental. They used to be outside of the bid on Millburn Avenue towards Maplewood. They've now moved into the bid. They have a pretty large dental practice. They're now at the Commons at 225 Millburn Avenue, so over by the medical offices in the Wyoming section. So that's February 25th, 4 p.m. And we will invite Mr. Sacamandi as well. So a lot of new businesses, which segues into an NJ.com article that you're going to hopefully see relatively soon. I was contacted by a reporter from NJ.com who was looking at our website and actually saw the new business listing that we have. And she said, I'd really like to write a story on all the businesses that have opened in town since COVID and since the inception of Explore. So I wrote her an article that detailed a lot of the data. She's going to cherry pick some of that, and then she's going to do a series on some of the new businesses. So the first one that she's doing is going to be on Dilly Dilly Millburn, which is the Indian fusion restaurant that's opening at the former Common Lot. So I introduced her to the owners. They're going to do a feature that'll be in NJ.com, and then there'll be like this larger umbrella article specifically about the health of the economic development situation.
When's that opening? The Dilly Dilly?
I think that's probably going to be a March. Yeah, they've got some construction they have to do inside of it, but
You know who that is, right? My friend Gaurav and Kumar.
Yes.
It's their guy.
oh, is it?
Yeah, it's their guy.
Because Gaurav is involved in that business. Yeah. So I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a
It's
terrific.
gonna be off the charts.
Yeah. So I love that NJ.com is coming to us to cover Millburn. I think that's a pretty good story. And then we have the Film Ready New Jersey status. So Film Ready New Jersey. I have the packet, so it's official. Corinne's been working with the New Jersey Motion Picture and Television Commission, that's a mouthful, to enroll Millburn in their Film Ready New Jersey program. She actually attended a mandatory session at the League of Municipalities Conference in November. We just did a follow-up call. They're currently, so we are currently assembling the application. We have to work with Mr. McDonald and actually Christina. So the program prepares, quote unquote, it prepares communities to accommodate movie and television producers and effectively market themselves as film destinations, bolstering the state's standing as a national leader in film and television production. I know something that Governor Murphy mentioned in his final state of the state was that something like $800 million was spent in New Jersey last year on film production. And so there's currently 43 designated film-ready communities in the state. And then this is a nice one. We have this designation as well as our Main Street designation. So I think a lot of really great designations for our town. What will end up happening is once we go through the application process, there's a database that film professionals use. And so, for instance, I was reading about one movie, they needed to use 13 different towns for all the different shots they needed. So you go into the database and let's say you need a park. Well, you select park, all the towns that have parks registered as high profile locations come up. You can then choose that location and then there's a contact. It'll be Christina as well as us that will then engage with those producers or site or scout location scouts, et cetera. So it's basically our town gets to be in this database for TV and film, which I think is a terrific way to solicit that business.
So just for everybody to remind them and for the public, makes it PhD, put here dummy, they just go in, select it, they have all the approvals, everything's streamlined, and boom, they're in. And it makes us much more attractive than having to go through the front of the board, get the permits, all of those different, what's called red tape. We cut out all the red tape.
Right, and we already have an ordinance on the books for filming, which made it actually a lot easier to go through the application process. This is really about getting the state, the photos, the locations, the contacts. And this is being driven by Explore. We've had a film ordinance on the books for almost 15 years. And so, we're thrilled that we can lead the charge on this.
Does the town get a stipend, like when, if they,
That was my question.
We collect the town collects a fee.
There's a fee.
so if they press, okay, we're coming to town, we're
They still
coming.
have to get their filming permits and approvals. They would submit that to the clerk. And they would pay their fees. There's no additional fee.
Yeah, but the town does benefit if they do filming in town.
Yeah, and now we have a database that people can find us.
And not to get ahead of, the cart before the horse, but they don't just need public locations.
Yeah.
And if they're filming nearby here, they're gonna look here for other locations that are suitable, and those they would have to contract with the owners for. So there's opportunities for
This guy,
residents, businesses, you name it.
this guy in Maplewood, like 10 streets down from him in his house, he's gonna fill him up. It's crazy. Paying his mortgage off this damn.
I've got friends in Maplewood who,
Maybe
with the Adam Sandler stuff and all that.
Yeah, exactly, that's
they-
exactly, that's
They did
it.
very well for themselves.
Crazy.
And the restaurants benefit, but.
Everybody benefits, cops benefit, overtime.
There's a requirement in the application to provide non-filming locations for food. They want to know where the pizzerias, where the coffee shops, so that when the crews come in,
Right.
So for those people who question, the value of this organization, nobody else was driving the ship on this.
And speaking of ship, that guy from Schitt's Creek, what's his name? The Jay Cohen and his son. Schitt's Creek, they did, the guy from American Pie, the father with the eyebrows.
Levy.
Jay Levy. They did,
And Eugene.
yeah, there you go, Gene. They did that film outside and they gave literally, it reconstructed the old garage or the back of the WPS, the Wyoming Presbyterian Church. Basically gave us a ton of money to refurbish their back. It used to be a garage, I think it's used now as some type of meeting room.
Well, that was interesting. When I was talking to the folks at this program about a year ago, I was saying, well, we've got Taylor Park, we have churches. They said, but everybody's got that. They said, do you have like a weird warehouse? Do you have a pump station? We need these. Sometimes you just need to be standing in an industrial yard.
Yeah.
And so they say the more sites you can load on to the database, the better. So, and there's been so much fun.
That might be a good idea from the esoteric sites to give them some of the benefits. What's the, right next to San Lima, the cemetery?
The cemetery.
Yeah, that whole thing, that'd be great for anything, and then all the different sites to do a public push to get people to bring in so that we can market those sites, because there's real economic benefit to those owners. They might even want a little shopping place for Vicky.
Yeah. I think it's limited.
I would put your name on there.
Yeah, no, he was just in New Providence. He did a bunch of stuff. He did it at the Taylor shop. He did it at a store. Dan Levy, he was all over there.
And again, I think there's only, 43 towns. Again, it's like the Main Street program, 29 out of 50 something, only 43. So, we're going to be in that 10%, right, of the people getting the benefits. And it's very competitive in this state. You got to set yourself up for success, and these are the kinds of things that can do it. So, more to come on that. We have a bunch of work to do with the application, but Corinne's leading the charge on that. It's one of her first big projects, but she's doing great. But speaking of projects, and this is a small one, but I think it's important. I'll pass this around. This is in color, but we don't have a color printer, so I bring it to you. This is our business awareness calendar. So this was something actually that kind of came from some ideas that Vicki had presented last year. This is going to be shared via email as well as on our website. It has all of the major holidays as well as local events. So the idea is you're a business, you print this out, you stick it on the wall, and when you want to know when prom is coming up, or the last day of school, or the Super Bowl, whatever it may be, when are the Jewish holidays, when should I think about taking time off? All of that is there. It's also, there's two columns. One is for whether it's a food and shopping holiday, and one is for whether Explore is doing a promotion. So this is going to be a living, breathing document. We'll continue to update it and change it, but we think it's a good start to help people plan their marketing calendars and their sale calendars. Also, we're gonna be working over the next month or two on a concierge document, which is gonna highlight our commercial districts. And it's gonna be provided to the paper mill, the Hilton, Greenwood Gardens, and the Arboretum, as well as other anchors that are cultural or high traffic locations. And the goal will be to have restaurants listed, as well as just, strategic locations. So we're gonna work on that as a team. But I had a great meeting actually with Greenwood Gardens next week. They say people are always looking for places to eat when they come. They don't have a document necessarily to give them. Boom, you get a little 2-page, easy kind of thing. Downtown's this way, Morris Turnpike's this way.
For Murphy, April Fool's Day's on, is that April 1st?
Is there a mistake? Oh, well, there's a mistake. You can hand that back to me, sorry. That's why it hasn't gone live yet.
When is Restaurant Week?
There is no Restaurant Week this year. Restaurant Week for 2026 is going to be combined with the World Cup. So we are going to have a very robust food program. I guess I'll tell you a little story. So the new Mexican restaurant that opened up, Guacamole, it's at the former Mariachi. I met with her. I said, just an idea. There are 7 Latin American countries that have already made the World Cup. Why don't you do a meal special, and ideally a lunch special, depending on when the games are played, and say we're going to show all 7 games, all 7 teams will show their games, and instead of a $20 lunch entree, there's a $12 lunch entree, and just kind of try to make it festive, get people out of their office buildings. You could watch it on your phone, but you can get a cheap lunch and watch it at a restaurant. Why not? So we're going to be engaging with a number of restaurants on different packages and viewing parties, but that's absolutely part of our program for this year. So don't worry, there will be plenty of food come June and July.
And is there a way to engage our liquor stores for having special, cocktails or some kind of to-go something?
Cerveza.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be part of what we do as well. Yeah.
And then also too, I think I discussed this last time or a couple of months ago. Getting at people who will do parties and things like Tinino Cigar, getting that list maybe to the World Cup guys, because you can't get a room at the all the teams are staying at the Short Hills Hilton, and get that a list to the people who be the concierge or the representatives from the teams and say, these guys will host, you can pay 10 grand, 5 grand, whatever, and they could throw a party there. That'd be great for our businesses. And obviously Tania's been selling a night out for $2,500, $5,000 to the Argentine team. Let's do it. Same thing for any of the bars and restaurants.
Some of the businesses are perfect, like Taninos. Can you imagine them having
those guys are running around tonight. It's no cigars.
So you can imagine like a special.
Trust me, they're doing cigars. These guys are doing cigars.
A special cigar night. I mean, for that,
a cigar night, or even for the fandom, right? The fans want to come out and have a party. But what we should have is a list of people who to contact in town and give them to the executives or planners for the team so they can reach directly out.
Yeah, I was on a webinar today actually with the FIFA organizing committee for New Jersey. And it seems like now that all of the teams all the draws have been set, and they know who's playing where, they now know match times. It seems like they are getting more engaged with exactly what you're talking about. And so there's a team, there's a FIFA team based out of New York who's working on exactly this. So I will continue to interface with them and try to push all of these things. They're expecting 2 million visitors to the metro area.
That's insane.
Now that I have 2 TC members here, you may want to relook at your Airbnb ordinance to make sure that people are compliant with.
I'm going enough.
No, but I'm just mentioning it.
I got enough on my plate.
Like 6 ADUs on my property.
So anyway, just something you may want to
I
think
have
about,
been-
or
I have been told by someone who lives near MetLife that they were offered $50,000 to rent their place.
That doesn't surprise me. I've heard similar about areas.
It's when they have stuff in Colchester and Newburgh. It's a great, but it's good too. We did
at the National Gym, we did a Airbnb right there, so.
So a couple of quick items, and then I'm gonna go through our annual report very quickly. So we are scheduled for another visit from Main Street America. This is our third visit. We had one in May, one in October, and now in February. That's going to be on February 11th, so Wednesday. From 9 to 11:30, they'll be meeting with just the Explore staff. From 11:30 to 12:30, they're going to walk throughout the downtown. That'll be just the staff as well. And then from 12:30 to 4, all board members are invited to join us. We're going to have a lunch, and then there'll be a kind of a visioning session to talk about some of the high priority items. We actually had a call with them yesterday. They're flying 2 people in from Texas who do this across the country. And I think when they're here, they're doing Somerville, Metuchen, Westfield, and Millburn. So
Can you send me an invite for that? Because I missed it last year because I had that last minute overseas trip. So I'd love to do
I'll
it.
send it to all board members. Hopefully you all can attend. And then also, so that is the 11th. 2 days later, we're getting a visit from the New Jersey Center for Women's Entrepreneurship. They are based out of Chatham. They have heard about what's going on in Millburn, and they're going to be sending a team of their folks out to come and visit with various female entrepreneurs. So I think what we're going to do, just because it's February in New Jersey, is we're probably going to walk Millburn Avenue from Town Hall down to Lackawanna, and probably pop into about 15 different stores. And they provide, I'm going to say the New Jersey Center for Women's Entrepreneurship. They provide free to low cost training and counseling for aspiring and established small business owners. We have a ton of women business owners in this town. Hopefully this is the first time, this is a little entree for them to come back and work with the
Can you
entire
get that statistic of what that actually is?
You know, I have it by NWBE. I don't have it broken down by women, but I probably could figure it out.
That'd be good statistics just for us to have.
Yeah, we track minority and women. We haven't broken it down by women, but I can do that.
What time is that, Stephen?
That's going to be 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on February
Do you
13th.
think we can get any sponsorship to offer them a lunch or some sort?
We can try.
It'd be nice if they're coming out of their way. It'd be nice to
Yeah, I guess send them up lunch at Guacamole or Willow West or.
lunch. We're gonna come up with see if there's any sponsors and welcome them properly.
Okay. And then this is just a minor note, but it is important. So restaurants have already begun receiving their sidewalk cafe forms. And the township committee should be voting on a resolution once again to allow sidewalk sales from mid-April to mid-October at their first meeting in February. So I worked on that with the clerk. We've expanded it in years prior. This is the longest we've ever done. And so it just requires an annual resolution. So you guys should have that on your agenda. That's always on my.
And that feedback's always been good. It brings people out and walk. Very good for the business.
It used to be fairly narrow. I don't know if you remember. What was
Yeah,
it?
It was like May till,
June.
yeah.
Yeah, so,
Was not long.
and now with somewhat unpredictable weather patterns, we said, you know what, make it pretty broad, and if the weather's good, what the heck. So that's my report.
You couldn't buy a bag of salted mushrooms today. A line down the street for that. It's crazy.
Would you mind pulling up the presentation?
You went to say?
No, that's what I did for 25 years.
Oh, no, yeah. The hardware store. Right? So you know
Would you mind, can you make it full
the
screen?
storm boom.
Yeah.
Because only certain places have it.
So, our ordinance requires that we publish an annual report every year. That's what annual means, I guess. And so I try to make this pretty user-friendly because this is actually the document that we give to businesses when we onboard them. So
This just full as it gets.
it's great. It's always a good way just to kind of visualize what we do, but also it tracks our key performance indicators. So if you would just move to the next slide. This is only 11 slides, so I promise it won't be too painful. As you all know, we are what's called a special improvement district or business improvement district. They are coterminous. We have 5 commercial areas, 160 assessed properties, and 535 businesses that we represent. Our core mission is economic vitality, visibility, infrastructure, and business engagement. Next slide, please. We serve on a variety of committees, both in the town and statewide. So I personally am on the Development Review Committee, the Parking Ad Hoc, the America 250 Committee, and then the Emergency Management Team. My responsibility on that is to notify businesses, certainly in adverse weather. For instance, today, an email went out about various protections you can use for your property in the event of snow and ice. Our main concern, quite honestly, this weekend is ice buildup on wires and therefore power outages. I'm also on the Downtown New Jersey Board of Directors. We're members of multiple chambers. And of course, we work in Main Street America. Next slide, please. You can keep going. Those are just placeholders. We report on this every year, new businesses or new locations. 2025, we had 33 new businesses open. That was just slightly under 2024's number. But either way, it's been positive net growth all the way across. And we've had a tremendous growth in businesses, over 130 since the city began. And we also, we don't just take all the wins, we also track all the businesses that close.
Healthy organic juices.
That is the former Green Nectar.
Oh.
New owner, new brand.
Right, okay.
So that ends up being kind of like a one-to-one. Green Nectar closed, Healthy Organic over. But it is a new business. Next slide, please. So KPIs, we track what we call business assistance requests. So these are the sort of things we do on a daily basis, right? The emails, the phone calls, the text messages. We report on this quarterly. I don't know if you know that, Jamie, but we do report on it quarterly. This is the end of year comparison. So we went from 187 requests in 2024 to 295 requests in 2025. So 108 more requests that we dealt with in our office. Marketing support has continued to go up. I think that's a representation of our very successful events and social media. Business resources, so those are the things like I mentioned, the EDA programs to help the barbershop, continuing to promote those and enroll people in those programs. Introductions and networking is also a big one. Those are, people who say, hey, I want to meet this business owner, or I want to, meet this community group. Can you do the introduction? Next slide, please. We have some other indicators we look at. So commercial vacancy right now is at an all-time low. We're at 2.94%, which is, compared to municipalities across the state, just ludicrous. I mean, I know people at 10, 15, 20%.
Well, New York's at 20%, I believe.
Yeah, our storefront commercial occupancy is very, very strong. Total businesses went up by a net of 18. We also had, we only had 15 businesses close as opposed to 20 the year before. And then parking meter revenue, I always love this stat. There was $30,000 of parking revenue increase last year. And that's when we don't collect revenue after Thanksgiving. So think about that. We lose about 6 weeks of parking revenue. And it still went up by $30,000. So that's more people coming into Upper Millburn Avenue, Short Hill Station, and downtown paying to park.
Yeah, and we're trying to do a push to get more people in the
yes, I'm working with Alex on some ordinance upgrade. Yes.
That's great, fantastic.
The email marketing, our subscribers went up by 593 people, so it's 20%. Our average open rate went from 21.8 to 52.1, and anybody that knows anything about email will tell you 52% is remarkably good. Our Instagram, we went up by over 1,000 posts, reels, and stories last year. Our followers went up by 12, almost 1,300, and we broke the 1 million engagement mark for the first time. So that went up actually up. We had an incredible year. We basically doubled our engagements. We had 524,000 more engagements.
Yeah, I would continue to lock up those influencers because that's a lot of it too.
Yeah, the influencers are phenomenal. Our original content
At my
very well.
companies, we're starting to get more and more into that. The key is getting shares and engagement. You get the shares and those numbers start flying.
And the influencers are reasonably priced.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And we get a lot of businesses who ask us to introduce them to influencers. And on our website, we have a downloadable list of influencers with all their contact information and the genres they work in. So we also give that to businesses straight away. I had a conversation with the executive director of the Somerville bid, and he says, I kind of want to start doing what you do. Like, you're always on camera doing something. And I said, yeah, you gotta have a brand. Businesses want us to come in and film these personalized reels. And that's where really the value is. So I think that's why you see that number. We've been really, really diligent in our social media work. Next slide, please.
Big kudos to you for checking your ego at the door.
The palest legs necessary. So we had our signature events last year, as always, Restaurant Week, Girls Night Out, Halloween, Winter Villages. Town Hall Plaza was another hit for its second year. We won't be having it this year, as we've talked about, but we did a movie night, a bagel tasting event in partnership with the Millburn Mamas and Minis. We had Spoon Circus, you see them standing on each other's shoulders. Cornhole tournament, we had a summer learning festival. We created the Upper Millburn Avenue Block Party this year, which was the first time we did that. And then we also participate in a variety of community events. So overall, our events were really terrific this year as well. Next slide, please. And then we continued to work on, we have our Millburn-Short Hills Magazine monthly editorial. Let's see, we did a couple bank seminars, including one on financial literacy as well as fraud. We secured $150,000 from the Main Street program for sidewalk improvements. We're already moving on the engineering work for that. So I'll probably have a report in February. And then we did our usual maintenance programs. We had the summer maintenance where I think for 15 weeks we were cleaning up litter. We did the second phase of the streetscaping work on Morris Turnpike, which is the picture on the bottom right there. Added a bunch of new public art, as well as some new pieces in the art alley, as well as the parking deck that explore your place in Millburn. There's 3 different pieces there that promote the town as you walk down the stairs and use the elevator. And then we also worked with the township on abandoned properties and signage ordinances. And as Ben mentioned, we're very lucky that we have a business administrator who wants to engage with the CID and work on policy with us. And that is it. I think I like the last photo because it's my team worked really hard to make personalized Explore Christmas tree ornaments this year. So I think 500 of those went out to visitors in Town Hall plazas.
Is there a QR code on the back?
There is a QR code on the back. So there's our logo and then a QR code. It's a shop logo. And that is our annual report, which is, I believe, done the fastest ever. So great.
Public comment. Thank you, Mr. Grillo. That was
Exceptional.
don't slow down.
I will.
General public comments. The public is invited to provide comments at this point in the meeting. Clearly state your name for the record and limit comments to 3 minutes. Prepared statements may be sent to Steve at exploremillburnshorthills.org. Please remember, this is a business meeting and professional decorum must be maintained. If a speaker engages in disorderly conduct that disrupts the meeting or is meant to intimidate attendees, they will be asked to cease their comments. All questions must be directed to the chair. At the conclusion of public comment, members of the board may respond or ask the staff or attorney to do so. Staff and attorney will not answer questions without a request from board members. Okay. So why don't we start?
I thought I saw Ms. Urso there.
No attendees.
No attendees.
Okay. Mr. Feld, would you like to speak?
Yes, I'm Jeffrey Feld. I'm a resident council for the plaintiffs in their properties case. Just want to do some updates. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Grillo for concurring with my analysis that 50% of his salary is included in the ordinance. Yesterday, I just want to bring everyone else mediation without the mediator with the township in the case. Just so we do like at that. If you look at the minutes, I am concerned that I have 3 people here who are elected officials and they know the Open Public Meetings Act. If you look at your closed executive session minutes, you approved, took official action, the executive session, not the regular meeting. You might want to consider whether that complies.
That's not correct.
That's what the minutes said. The minutes, what you approved tonight, that was posted, says what I said.
Okay, we'll take a look at it.
All right, you need to look at that. Also, through Oprah, does not appear that the township committee approved a raffle for the Christmas Santa Claus raffle. There's nothing produced to us. When you produce publish the notice of the meetings, be aware that there's a new law effective on March 1st. There's, the disclaimer, new language that should be in that type of notice. Also, township volunteer form. When you look at the SID, it says that you're subject to financial reporting. That's different, that conflicts with what was told at various earlier meetings. Just throwing this out to you. I would suggest, based on the interviews, farewell interviews from our former Attorney General and our State Controller, and the Trust Commission report that was issued, they all signal public corruption in this state, and we need to be more oversight. I just threw that out to you, especially as we look at the Trust Commission, where they make recommendations, because we look at the board, what they want fiduciaries to do. As to the minutes, I know you're being watched, be very careful. When I looked at them, I was at a newer meeting, I looked back at your things. I made a submission, there was a statement made that was not being distributed to the board prior to the meeting. But
30 seconds,
minutes,
Mr. Feld.
That's it. And I looked at some of the comments I made at the township committee meeting about the budget times.
Thank you, Mr. Feld. Is there anybody else online? Ms. Vicky.
Okay. Well, I forgot the first thing, but the second thing, Nadej and I'd be happy to volunteer on the holiday decor committee. Just want to put that out there to you. Okay. I'm speaking tonight as a business owner, as someone who cares deeply for the town. I'm disappointed. We currently have 3 vacant seats on the Explore Millburn board, Millburn-Short Hills board, and they have not been filled. That matters. An organization cannot function properly without a full board. Decision stall, progress stalls, momentum stalls. So my question is simple. What is the process to appoint these members? And more importantly, when will it happen? Because right now, Explore feels stuck. Not because of the organization itself, but because it is being treated like a political tool instead of what is meant to be a support system for the business community. This is exhausting. Businesses may not be the biggest taxpayer in town, but we are taxpayers. We are here every single day. We open our doors, we employ people, we invest in this community, yet we are constantly pulled into a push and pull with the township committee instead of supported. And frankly, it often feels like no one is advocating for us except Explore. Another issue I truly don't understand is the negative framing of events, raffles, and programming. These are not problems, these are tools. Events bring people into town, events create foot traffic, events support restaurants, shops, and services. So why are we being questioned as if we're doing something wrong? Why aren't we embracing these efforts instead of criticizing them? Business is changing, business is growing, the World Cup is coming. When with it comes the opportunity to create themed events, girls' night out, other programming designed to bring people into town. These are the moments we should be leaning into. Instead, the organization meant to support these efforts is being held back. Explore is fighting for the business community during a time of growth and change. We are trying to build energy, excitement, and reasons for people to come here and stay here. Yet the organization doing this work cannot move forward without full support. Ben, we are looking to you for support. You have been on this board for 3 years and you understand how complicated it is to run an organization of this size with so many moving parts. We ask you to stress to the township committee how indecision hurts operations and ultimately hurts businesses. This conversation is not new. Last year, Nadej and I sat here and discussed the SID contribution. I think it's important to put it in perspective. The tax rate in Millburn is approximately 2%.
30 seconds.
The state assessment is this year is 0.009%. That's 9/10,000ths of 1%. Think about that, what we get for our money. Homeowners contribute roughly $8.33 per household toward the executive director's portion of the SID budget. In return, residents benefit from events designed specifically for them. Over 30 summer music programs, community-focused events, programming that brings residents into town, keeps them here. This feels like a no-brainer. So I ask honestly, do we want a vibrant business district or not? Because without Explore, we risk becoming a ghost town. We lose the one organized voice advocating for the businesses, and once the voice is gone, it'll be very hard to rebuild. I'm asking for clarity and action, and most importantly, I'm asking for support. Support the organization. Thank you.
Can you provide that statement so I can distribute it to the rest of the TCU? And for the record too, there's no bigger advocate than me in SEC when we're going at it. You heard my statements earlier tonight. I think that is a good statement. I think it should resonate, but it should also create action, plan of action.
Awesome.
Very good. All right, Mr. Feld, always good seeing you.
Florida State.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
We need to.
Okay.
If you want to adjourn this,
May I have and I don't see any other, may I close public comment?
you may.
May I have a motion to
motion
adjourn?
to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Richard, all right, good. All in favor?
Everyone stay warm, stay safe.